One.
Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of Many Tribes, One Kingdom. I'm John, and with me, as always, are...
Hey, I'm Dustin.
I'm Caleb.
Caleb, you sound so
Thanks for the-
depressed.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to hold in a laugh right now because he said like another episode,
Well,
like we're a TV show. And I'm like, I'm telling you,
All right.
just make the podcast or something.
Well, we're getting to that level, so.
Anyway, so what we have planned for you guys tonight is really fun. So, Dustin and Caleb have both worked, well, to give it a little brief, the Salvation Army, we do summer camps in our divisions. And both Dustin and Caleb have worked at the Salvation Army camp here in the Maryland, West Virginia division, now the Potomac division.
The best division ever.
Right. At Camp Tomahawk.
The best
And
camp
so-
ever.
Right. And so what I will be doing is I'm going to be asking them a few questions. We'll have plenty of time to hear from both of them. And we really hope you guys enjoy this video. And before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So sit back, relax, and let's do this.
Woo! Woo!
So you guys ready for your first question?
All right, let's go.
All right. So this first one is a two-part question. How long have you worked at camp, and what positions have you held? Dustin, let's start with you.
Oh, wow. I'd say 5 years I've worked at camp. 2 years I served as a dishwasher. And 3 of my most recent years I served as a camp counselor. In the same cabin for all 3 years at Cabin 17. The best cabin in the entire camp, so.
All right. And Caleb?
All right. So altogether, it's been 4 years.
Okay.
I've had 2 positions, and then like some like other side positions.
Yeah.
My first 2 years, I was a counselor. Third year, First 2 years, I was a counselor. 1 week, I was maintenance. Got to experience that a little bit. Got to experience what it was like being a head counselor. My third year working at camp, I was a lifeguard. Easiest job you can have on a camp. And yeah, that's mostly all the positions I've done.
And now, Caleb, you also worked at Walter Johnson, didn't you?
Yes.
And that's down
Yes,
in
I
the
did.
North and South Carolina division.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. All right. So next question, moving right along. So why did you guys start working at camp? Caleb, we'll start with you this time.
Mostly
Exactly.
because
Oh, God,
Mostly-
no.
I had
you had
to change my shirt.
He put Camp Walter Johnson on.
Let me.
Let him have his thing. Anyway.
What got me to start working at camp? I think for everybody in the Salvation Army, that's kind of like that'll end up being like your first job.
Well, that's a lie, but anyway.
I mean, what got me working at camp was, like I was fresh out of high school, and so I needed something to do for that summer. And Captain Jonathan Raymer was the one who, told me to apply to work at camp and everything.
Mhm.
But yeah, just to get the feel of things and like get more experience working with kids.
Okay. And Dustin?
If I remember
Yes.
correctly, my sister told me to go work at camp. She said she had a lot of fun working her years at camp. So,
Okay.
pretty much that's the easiest answer I can give you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, short, sweet, and to the point. All right. Now, you may need to think about this one for a minute, and that's okay. So what was your favorite position? Like, what was your favorite position or most memorable position you've held? So if you had to pick which one you enjoyed the most.
Lifeguard.
Camp counselor.
Lifeguard.
Camp counselor.
Wow.
Down
Lifeguard.
pack.
that,
Wow, I
that was
didn't even finish the
that was
question.
not hard to think of, man. That was not hard to think of at all. Like,
Well, you know what? The next one will be. I promise you that. Okay, fight me.
hmm,
Okay, so
okay,
Dustin, you say counselor,
Yes, I
and
did.
Caleb, you say lifeguard.
yes,
So So both of you went to camp as campers, right? Before.
Yes.
yes.
All right.
Yes.
Cool. So, how was it going from a camper to staff? And did you grow to appreciate the staff more from your time as a youth?
I mean, for me, like transitioning from like camper to staff and everything, it wasn't really that much of a change. I was just glad that I didn't have to share a bathroom with like 10 different boys and everything
That's the truth.
and stuff like that. But like my first year working at camp, I realized like, yeah, being working camp staff is very difficult depending on like the environment, the kids you work with and everything, who you work with. So yeah, the change wasn't that hard, but it
Yeah.
did have its ups and downs sometimes.
Okay. And Dustin?
It was actually really awkward. Um, uh, so I only went one time, and I was back on junior soldier camp. And so I had Josh Belevins as my camp counselor.
Hey, he was mine too.
Little did I know that I would
Was
say
he was
7
your
years.
guys' counselor, but he wasn't mine?
I don't know. 7 years later,
I had
7 years
Tom
later.
as a counselor.
About 7 years later. I can't remember. But when I started working at camp, he was on staff there. I'm like, this is the most awkward. I go from being your camper to being your coworker. I'm like, this is the most awkward. But I'd say it was a very hard transition, even though it's only that 1 week. But I definitely do see why the staff had a hard time working with us, and why some of the staffers, quote unquote, disliked us badly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, this next one, feel free to take your time answering this one. If it's a long story, that's perfectly fine. So tell me what your favorite memory from working at camp was. Dustin, we'll start with you.
Oh, wow. I did tell you to hit me hard with these questions.
I'm so glad I'm last.
Oh, wow. My favorite memory working at camp. It was actually last year. Going out at the lake, or the big pond, that's what it's referred to, and just spending most of the day fishing. And then it was a weekend, so conservatory actually went up to the cross this weekend, and they did like a little service up at the cross, and I heard some beautiful music. And it was just such a beautiful moment. That was my favorite memory because I got a chance to be by myself, but having such a wonderful choir singing to me.
Oh, I do remember
Yeah,
seeing you down there.
yeah,
I was
down
at the top of the cross and I saw you and I was like, that's Dustin.
yeah, I was in my big
Like, I
white,
know that's Dustin.
my Hawaiian shirt of white and blue. I was like, I wanted to just to. Anyways, Caleb, your favorite memory at camp?
I'm stuck between two of them. Honestly. And it's one from each camp too. So that's
Tell us the one from Tomahawk first.
okay. So it was last summer. I was a conservatory counselor, and for those of you who don't know what conservatory is, that's music. I was helping out with the like theater elective and everything, and we had this one special guest who she had to sit in the circle and was like, okay, and like we're all gonna go around and we're gonna say like one person we're thankful for and everything, and like tell us why. And every single kid in the circle said my name.
Aw.
Like I'm not. You can ask Angel when I say this. I had to get up and I had to walk outside because I got teary eyed. To
Oh,
be honest,
Caleb, show us
I got
something.
teary eyed too. I got teary eyed to be honest. Um, especially
Oh,
with Angel and everything because like knowing her, like her situation at the time, it was
Yeah.
it was like so like I had to get up and leave and I'm like I can't do this. I can't. And like I walked in and I'm pretending I'm fine, but like on the inside I'm not.
Mm.
I was not fine. I was like, I hate you guys for making me cry, but I love you guys at the same time.
And then
Um,
do you want to tell us the one from Walter Johnson too?
yeah. So when I was a lifeguard there, um, Nelson,
oh,
um, it was like the week of TYI,
Oh, right. TYI.
and I was at the pool, and he was with his grandmother and his sister, and um his grandmother came over to me like, hey, do you think you can put Nolan through a swim test? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So we did the swim test and everything, and it was four different parts. It was like, yeah, this like the shallow end, you had to just swim from like one wall to another wall, which was easy. Then like in the middle of the pool, you had to swam from one like the edge of the pool to the ladder, which
Mhm.
was about 20 meters and everything.
Oh, that's not much.
And then after that, you got to choose if you wanted to go down the slide. He chose not to.
Okay.
But um, the deep end, the diving boards, the thing with that was, you know, the lifeguard sits in the water, and we tell the kids, okay, all you have to do when you jump in, you just have to say three things: what's your name, what's your age, where you're from, and then that's it. And so Nolan jumps in, and he just starts freaking out, and
Mm.
I pushed him to the side and everything, and I'm just like, like you don't have to go again if you don't want to. And he's like, no, I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna go again. And then the second time he did it, it was like he was perfectly fine, and like he freaked out for like a second, and I'm just like, I just told him like, just look at me, just look at me, and like just focus on me, and he did it perfectly fine and everything and stuff like that. So he was like the honorary uh like swim test winner for that
Oh,
summer.
okay.
all
So
right.
being a part of that was awesome.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Now, this one focuses on you guys both, your time as a counselor. So I want you to think hard about this one.
He about to ask us which kid we wanted to strangle.
No,
There's a lot.
I'm legally not allowed to ask that.
I'm
And
just
remember,
kidding.
John, we're not allowed to have favorite campers.
I'm not gonna ask that either. Maybe you
Okay.
should let me ask the question before you start judging.
All right. Just let me ask the
All right.
question.
I guess.
So, your first summer as a counselor, how did it feel being put in that leadership position with the children?
I was used to it. I mean, me being me already being a youth leader at the core and everything and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, and doing junior soldiers and stuff. It wasn't really different. It was almost the same thing, except I'm just stuck with them for like weeks and everything. So
Okay.
it wasn't really like oh, I don't really like this, but it was
So it wasn't a transition for you.
no, it was like it was like just a step up and everything.
Okay. And Dustin?
It definitely was a transition. I was I was at that point the SAIC leader for my core, but it didn't really prepare me for that. I was already used to staying at camp for like 6 weeks, but
Hmm.
being put in charge of a group of kids, not all of them that you do know right off the back. Uh, it was a little stressful, but
Mhm.
I was very thankful to be partnered with somebody who worked at camp who was a counselor beforehand. And so it helped me keep my pace, helped me keep calm during those situations. And after like the second week, I really got into the groove of camp, and I really started to enjoy myself and relax more.
Okay. Good, 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 good. And I'm assuming, you know, you're more used to it now, so it's not as big of a thing for you now, right?
Oh, every year brings new challenges. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. All right, next question. We are moving right along. So, what advice would you give to a parent who is on the fence about maybe sending their child to camp? So, if a parent is watching this video, they've never sent their kid to camp before, and you know they're thinking maybe I want to, maybe I don't want to. What advice would you give them?
I,
Dustin, you go first.
yeah, I'm gonna say, I said just send them. They may get bumps and bruises at camp, but that's the point of camp. It's to have fun, to allow the kids to get out of the city, get out of their homes, and experience something new. Yes, the first couple of nights maybe scary to them, but during the day, I've seen kids that were literally scared and wanted to go home to
Mhm.
being very, very happy, enjoying themselves, forgetting that they ever wanted to go home, and just straight out enjoying themselves.
Yeah, those were my kids. I remember you telling me that.
Oh, the one kid was he just wanted to go home. So I did have one kid who just did not want to be there. But for the
Oh
most
yeah.
part, I have had kids that wanted to be there. They were scared at night. They were wanted to go home at night, but that's because they were relaxed. But during the day, they were the happiest of kids. So send your kids to camp. They're going to enjoy themselves. Trust me. And even if they don't, at least now they can say they went to camp and they got a chance to experience something new and to meet people outside of their own city.
Okay. Caleb.
Mm-hmm. All right, parents, listen up. If you want to get rid of your kid for the summer, send them to Christian camp, okay?
No.
Send them to Christian camp.
Hey, no. I want honesty here.
Send them to Christian camp, okay?
Okay,
It'll
at least
be a
they're Christian
benefit for
camps.
you. It'll be a benefit for them, okay? It'll be a benefit for you because, you don't really have to stress over finding things for them to do when there's no school or anything.
Especially for parents who are working, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I see what you're going with here.
For the kids,
Don't say anything to
again,
the kid.
what?
Don't say anything to the kid specifically yet. That's coming up.
No, I'm saying, but like for the kids, like
Okay.
their
Yeah.
benefits.
I'm sorry.
Like it can help them get out of their comfort zone and everything. Like some kids are probably comfortable being home and laying in bed playing video games and everything, but like you get them to camp and everything, and you get to do all these fun outdoor activities, archery, being in a pool, going on like a bike trail, fishing and stuff like that. It's water tubing. It's they'll come back and they'll tell you all these stories of what they did. Like, mom, you ain't gonna believe what I did. I went on a hike up to the cross and everything, and I was tired after that, but it was so amazing. Like we sung songs at the campfire circle. We
Mm-hmm.
watched movies and stuff like that. So I mean, again, it's beneficial for both sides of the party, but
Yeah.
more for the kids. More for the kids.
To
Of
give a
course.
to give a part two to my answer, if
Of
parents,
course.
if you're worried about your kids going to camp, I can assure you one thing: all of our staff, they are fully equipped to handle most situations. Yes, there's going to be things that come up that we may not understand, but we're quick. We're always quick to adapt, and we always have a battle plan ready to handle most of these situations that arise at camp. Actually, all situations that arise at camp. Trust
Awesome.
me, sitting through what 6 or 7 hours worth of safe from harm classes, 4 hours of first aid and CPR training, but for those who had to take it.
See, I feel bad for you guys having to sit through all that time for CPR and first aid training and everything. I got my mom. Like my mom's certified to teach that, so I can just get it from her. Like,
Oh, but
save
yes,
y'all's money. Like, save your money, Dustin. Come, like,
well,
my
I didn't
mom
think
can
about
teach
it at
you.
the time. But anyways,
I mean,
we are all trained there, and the reason for that is so this way your kids can go there, have a fun time, and also be safe, but also get a chance to be a kid. That's the biggest reason why you should send your kids to camp, just to be a kid.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Next question.
her kid can be a kid.
Thanks, Caleb. Now we're going to get sued. Um,
What was that from? Like,
what was that from?
We'll figure that out later, gentlemen.
Yeah. All right.
oh
So,
my.
on the issue of speaking to people, what would you say to a potential first-time camper who's nervous about coming up, about staying away from home or anything like that? So, same issue. We got a kid, let's say a camper's watching. Potential first-time camper, what would you say?
Oh man, I don't want to say because this is a little mean. Don't worry, we got a washer and dryer. We'll wash your sheets for you. Anyways, I'm just kidding. But if you are scared about coming to camp, meeting somebody new, it's understandable. You're always gonna have those. You're always gonna have some fear with that. But when you come back, imagine all the things you could tell, not just your family, but your friends. You can hype it up to your friends. Like, I went down a river for about 4 hours. We were down that river. We were just whitewater tubing. Or we were hiking up a trail. We got really tired, but we saw this amazing view and had the most experiences in just 1 week at camp. See, this is not all happening over a month. This is happening in 1 week.
Oh, wow.
This is a lot of fun, and if you don't miss it out just because you're a little fearful. Trust me, once you get there, after the first day, after you meet everybody, you're gonna have the most fun. You're not even gonna realize that you're away from home.
Awesome. Caleb?
All right, kiddos.
Okay.
Oh boy. Let me tell you this. So yeah, some of you might be going to camp from a broken home or something like that, a tough situation. Maybe you were bullied in school or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
At camp, whether it's a Christian camp or just a regular old summer camp, you might have a kid that bullies you or something, but we have like us as staff and everything. You can come to us, you can talk about your problems, you can tell us, oh, so and so's bullying me, so and so threw my shoes in the trash or something like that, and we'll handle it and everything.
I feel like that's a personal experience. Sorry.
No, not really. I mean, I know somebody that happened to.
Okay. It just seemed like such a random thing to pick out of nowhere.
No. But yeah. At camp, for me, at camp, I tell my kids this all the time. Not only am I gonna be, I'm not just your counselor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be your friend. I'm going to be your big brother for the next couple of weeks or the week you're here, whatever. Yeah. I'm going to be your parent for the next couple of weeks or something,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make it fun for you.
Of course.
And again, some of you might be in a really awkward position and everything. Like, you get to camp and you're all shy and everything and stuff like that. You're shy. You don't really want to talk to anybody. But look, just open up. Step out of that comfort zone. It's like, there's a door right there. You're on the outside. On the inside, it's full of bouncy houses, swimming pool, campfires. That's camp. Walk through that door, step out of your comfort zone, and you will have the best time of your entire life.
Awesome.
I promise you that.
Ready for the next question?
Just don't have Dustin as your counselor.
Oh, that's
come
messed up.
Come
That's
on.
messed up.
Oh, come on. The kids love me. A lot of the other campers actually want to be in my cabin.
Ready for the next question?
I guess so.
All right. Moving right along with the hypotheticals. What advice would you give to someone who is considering working at camp this upcoming summer?
Pack laundry detergent. Pack body wash. Pack shampoo. Conditioner. A towel. Clothes. Please. I can't tell you how embarrassing it is to get to camp and you don't have enough of something and you have to ask to borrow somebody else's.
So toiletries are a must. Got it.
Yes, and please, for the love of God, toothpaste and a toothbrush. Don't forget it, or else I'm slapping upside your head because I don't want to wake up in the morning, try to have a conversation with you, and smell your hot breath.
Keep in mind, this is coming from a pacifist, by the way, guys.
Absolutely, I'm being serious to that too. But it is very embarrassing when you're put in that position.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
Any other advice you got for them?
Well, we have this motto that was created by Captain Jonathan Howe. He said, "Camp changes lives." That doesn't just apply to the kids.
That wasn't
to
him.
the staff.
That wasn't him.
Who
That was
was it
Raymer.
then?
That was Raymer.
I said Raymer.
You said how.
Oh, I said how. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops.
The
Captain Jonathan.
disrespect, man.
Captain Howe, you're not getting the credit for that. That was Captain Jonathan Raymer. I'm sorry. They get the same first name, okay?
I'm sending both of them this video.
Captain Jonathan Raymer created that motto. Camp changes lives, but it doesn't just reflect to the campers. It reflects on the staff. Because I haven't met somebody who was the same person from the first day to the end of the 6 weeks. Because in those 6 weeks, we become a family that will stick together most of the time. And it's a wonderful experience. You're going to have your ups and your downs. You're going to feel like you're tired. You're going to feel like you want to strangle somebody, even if they're your best friend. You're going to feel like you want to strangle them. But you also, it's just an area full of love and full of joy. So go and experience it. Caleb,
your sage-like wisdom.
I was gonna say the same thing Dustin was gonna say, but he came in all like screaming and everything. Like, dang, man.
Okay, but I'm sure you've got something you can add to that. Come on now.
All right, you want my honest opinion?
Keep it clean.
I'm gonna keep it clean.
Keep it G.
This is a Christian channel. This is a godly channel. Okay, that's what the G is rated for.
Actually, it's correction. It's rated C for Christians.
We'll continue the discussion later.
I like G for godly.
I actually got to agree with Caleb on this one. Vote in the comments down below which one you prefer.
Yes, please vote C.
If you don't say godly.
Hey, you can't threaten our subscribers. Answer the question.
Stop acting like John and dodging the question. Keep it going. Come on.
Shut up, man bun. Anyway.
That was more of a burn on John.
I'm ignoring that. I'm being the mature moderator.
I mean, for me, if I had to tell somebody, like, give advice to somebody, just be ready for whatever gets thrown your way. Like, always be prepared. Keep your head on a swivel.
I don't know why I find that funny. I'm just thinking about bobbleheads when you said that.
Oh, great.
John, you look like a bobblehead. Anyway.
I was just about to say that too.
Anyway.
Air 5 game.
Insult the blind man.
But like, yeah, just be ready for whatever happens. be on alert
Okay.
in case something happens in the cabin, and like just be ready to handle every situation that may come your way. Don't worry about it too much. Like just pray about it. Pray about it and just like mentally prepare yourself. Because I will say, if you don't mentally prepare yourself,
Okay.
it's not going to be a good summer for you.
And to put a part two. Be nice to your fellow staffers. Remember, you're going to be in close communications with them for 6 weeks. And if I could say one thing, if you start something, everybody in that camp is going to know by the end of that day. So make sure you keep yourself safe. Make sure you keep your head on the swivel, like Caleb said, whether you're in or outside your work site.
Yes. Okay. Now, I probably should have asked this question earlier, but I'm human. Cut me some slack.
Oh, so you're human.
So, and
Are you a Gungan?
I thought it was Jar Jar.
I'm ignoring you.
You can't ignore us. We got to answer the questions.
What was? All right. I want to be careful how I ask this because obviously, I don't want anyone saying anything bad about anyone else or anything like that. But of course, you guys are mature enough to know that. So,
Okay.
what was your roughest experience as a camp counselor? Or not a camp counselor, but as a camp staff member? What was your roughest experience? And part two from that, what did you learn from it?
Oh, having a kid sent home after so many tries and opportunities to try to help this kid to want to stay at camp, and he just never did. He never wanted to behave. He never wanted to be there in the first place. That's what I felt. But I will be vulnerable at this point. I literally, when he left, I literally cried because I thought I failed him. But what I learned from that is that I didn't fail him. He didn't want to be here. And, so many staffers were just, they even said, like, if he didn't want to be here, he's going to misbehave. He misbehaves everywhere else. Just let it go. It'll be fine. And I learned to keep my cool head about it.
Okay. Caleb?
Jeez.
Hey, you guys wanted hard questions.
A joke that will fit in there.
Wow.
Moving
Not
on.
that joke.
I didn't think of that, but anyway, what were you asking, Caleb?
So like, does it have to be like just an experience in general, or?
I mean,
like,
of course, I don't want you giving out people's names and stuff like that.
I mean,
And I don't want you do what?
I said I wasn't going to.
Okay, I didn't think you would.
I was just asking because you said like, yeah, like the roughest experience. So I was asking if you meant like us personally or just like
you
like
personally.
a rough experience we had at camp.
No, you
like
personally. It has to be something that affected you because it has to be something that you learned from.
Oy vey.
Not to jump in the deep end, pull a pencil dive.
It was not a pencil dive, okay? It was the can opener, okay? It was the can opener, okay?
You still hurt yourself.
No, okay. The stupid nurse we had doesn't even examine my ankle, okay? It's swollen. It's not broken. It's swollen. She just looks at it. Okay, Dustin, you sat through first aid training and everything and stuff like that, right?
Uh-huh.
You know that if somebody hurts themselves, right? Like if I hurt my wrist, right? What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to like examine it, right?
Cut it off and then move on.
Like
I'm supposed to call the nurse, and a nurse is supposed to examine you.
But I'm saying
I'm supposed to assess the situation.
Like we're not at camp. Like if I was at area command and I just like hurt my wrist or something, right? And like I couldn't move it. Like it was just dangling like this.
I mean,
right?
yes, you gotta assess the issue.
Right. You gotta examine the injury, right?
Or call your
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah, you gotta feel around it, right, to see if it's broken.
Yeah.
This nurse just looks at my ankle and it's like, "Oh, it's broken. You need to go to the hospital." The whole ride to the hospital, me and Amanda Raymer, we're sitting there like, it's not broken. Like I just can't put pressure on it. It's just swollen.
You know, I
We
think you're telling me about.
we get to the hospital and I go in, I get the x-ray, and I'm sitting there, and like I'm texting my mom, I'm texting Philip, I'm texting a bunch of people like, yeah, I just got the x-ray, I'm just waiting for the doctor to come back. Doctor comes back and it's just like, yeah, it's not broken, it's just badly swollen, it's badly bruised. So he basically said, like you have to use a crutch
Mm.
for like just one crutch for a day. And I got back in the van and I looked at Amanda Raymond. I'm just like, it's not broken. I told you it's not broken.
So, was that your answer to the question, or was that just a story you're throwing in for free?
That was the story because Dustin brought it up.
So,
honestly,
on topic.
my roughest experience I had was last summer. This is pretty much going back to like, it was either like a few questions before when you asked like, what advice would we give to somebody?
Yes.
I'd like to add on to that. You will be working with people who will get under your skin and who will stress you out and frustrate you. That happened to me last summer, and there was one day I lost my temper and I lashed out, and the kids were around me, and it was just like a bunch of built up frustration and everything and stuff like that. And I remember there was two kids who weren't even in the theater elective. So I don't know how they found this out, but apparently no. Like, so when I got angry, I slammed my book, and when I did, I got a paper cut like on my finger. So I had left to go to my cabin to get a Band-Aid and everything, like clean it up.
Okay.
And as I'm coming back, I see the two kids running up to the bandmaster's wife and is like, "Oh, he lashed out on him, and everything and stuff like that." And so she's asking me like what happened, and I'm telling her, and like this is what happened. I have had a lot of built up frustration because like I'm dealing with, like, at this point I was dealing with kids that were from another cabin that got moved into mine. And their counselor didn't really do anything to help me and my co-counselor out with them. So that frustrated me. There was other staff members stressing me out and frustrating me. So a lot of built up frustration, and I just lashed out. And I told her, like after I went and got a Band-Aid and everything, I walked in, I was calm, and I walked up to the kid because he was arguing with another staff member. And so I walked up to him, and I'm just like, like it wasn't directed at you. So, like don't feel like I'm mad at you or something. But I remember I pretty much had to distance myself from the kids for a while.
Yeah.
And like while I was sitting in the modular, there's like that big whiteboard, and I was just writing like some of the positive things that happened at camp, some of the negative things that happened at camp, and along with some of the things I was thankful for and some of the things I needed to work on. And for like the things I had to work on, I circled all the big ones, and my temper was one of them. But luckily, um, like Captain Jonathan came in, and him and Jason, they came in and they were talking to me. And Captain Jonathan had left, and me and Jason are sitting there, and he's just pretty. I don't remember exactly what he said, but what I got from it was pretty much like, in times like those, you just need to excuse yourself.
Yeah.
And he said, like, I can understand why you're frustrated and everything and stuff like that. And he pretty much read the board and everything and stuff like that, and was like, like, I'm going to take a picture of this and everything and like send it to you. And like in that moment, it was kind of that, like this is a like I don't know
Learning
what
experience.
word to use. Not really learning experience, but it was like the it's a downfall of working at camp.
Okay.
And that's one of the big problems that anybody can have. But that was pretty much like God speaking through Jason, like, this is what happens, this is what can, like, this is what can happen when you're stressed out and you don't talk to anybody and everything and stuff like that. So yeah, that was the
I mean, you learned a lot from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are down to our last two questions.
Oh, good. Whew.
Well, technically the last one, because this next one, you have to answer, but then the one after that, it's optional. You don't have to answer it if you don't have anything to say.
Okay.
So, let me ask this one. This is a question I'm really looking forward to hearing your answer, and I think this is the most important question of the night, if I could say so. And Dustin, we'll start with you. How did God use you through your experiences working at camp? How do you feel that God used you? How do you feel that you represented him, or, showed his kingdom, his gospel?
I'm going to pull out an incident, obviously no names. So a kid went up and prayed, and he prayed with one of the other staffers. It wasn't with me. And the staffer he came in at, later on that night, he said, "Do you want me to tell you what he prayed for?" And I said, "No." I said, "No, because that's something that he shared with you. I want you to keep that,
Yeah.
in a personal relationship. This way, if you need to grow or if he needs to tell you something again, he can." But in that instance, it showed me that I need to respect. It showed me that I need to respect the distance. In other ways, a lot of patience with kids who were obviously coming from situations at home that were not good, and coming in and releasing all that frustration and excitement and energy out of camp. It can get tiresome seeing kids jumping on beds and telling them to stop 15 times before going to bed. But in those situations, I remember to keep calm, keep patient, and I had the calmest co-counselor ever. Literally, he was chilling. Like, kids were jumping off the bed, and he was chill as all get up. And he said he was always calm with the kids. And just from those situations, I learned to keep my head in those situations. And God showed me that I had a lot of patience for these kids who may have come from a troubled home, and that these kids actually got to be kids while being at camp.
That's nice.
Jeez.
That's nice.
Nice. It's nice.
John.
Hard time. I'll remember that. Caleb.
I would have to say there was a moment last year. Um, it was like the second to last day of conservatory, and like me and some of the kids, we were getting the band equipment out of the modular, and we were taking it over to the chapel.
Mhm.
And there was me, one of the other counselors, and a few of the kids. But there was this one girl. Her name was Lily. John, I remember telling you this last year. She was one of the kids that there was a lot of like problems and everything and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, like I could see why she was getting like trying to seek attention and everything.
Mhm.
Because it was the day, like this specific day, she was helping me like fold the music stands and put them in the bag, and
Mhm.
I could tell she was upset. And I asked her, I was like, oh, what's wrong? And she said that she was upset that like everybody else's parents are coming to see them and everything, but like her parents weren't able to come and everything and stuff like that, to like support. And so she was upset about that. She was like,
Mhm.
I really wanted my grandmother to be here, but she can't really get out of the house.
Yeah.
And like I remember I looked at her and I'm just like, look, like I was like, I'm going back to what I said on the first day. Like I'm not here to only be a counselor. Like I'm here to be your friend. I'm here to be the uh, male role model in your life and everything. So like your big brother and stuff. And that's how I treated all of the kids. Was like they were my actual little brothers and sisters. But in that moment, um, I felt God speaking through me, like um, I pretty much said, like your biological family may not be here and everything,
Mhm.
but like you have all of the conservatory counselors, you have all of these kids you've made friends with,
Yeah.
like who are your godly family and everything, and they will support you through everything. And I
Awesome.
told her, I'm just like, I told her, I'm like, you know, I can testify to this, because during kettle season and everything, being in high school choir, my mom wasn't my yeah, I just hit puberty again. um, but my like in high school during Christmas time with kettles and everything, my mom was never really able to make it to my Christmas chorus concerts.
Mhm.
But so like my mom being one of the biggest supporters and everything, um, it was sad. But then like of course I would see my dad, I would see my sister, I would see uh, friends coming in, like friends' parents who I've gotten close with, coming and supporting
Yeah.
and everything. So I knew what she was feeling, and like I told her that we had to be strong, and we have to believe in ourselves. And like I remember she just gave me that look, and she had like a tear running down her face when she said this, and she just looked at me and was like, was just like, you know, I know I'm not really your favorite camper and everything. She was like, but if I had to pick a favorite counselor, it would be you. And I'm like,
All right. So this is our
last
last
question.
And again, this is optional. You guys might not have an answer for this because it's not really much of a question. It's really just what other tidbits would you like to give? You know, just general comments, anything like that that you'd like, anything you want our subscribers to take away from this video. Do
Prepare
try
to
to
be
be
crazy. Prepare to be
What?
crazy at camp. Because if you're not crazy, you're not going to enjoy it. I'm being serious. Those kids are looking to you. And if you're going to have this very serious tone about you for all 6 weeks, you're not going to have fun. But if you act a little crazy and just show the real side of you, the kids will have a good time. You will find out that you're going to have a good time, and that being a counselor or being a staffer is not that hard.
all right. And Caleb,
What's fun? What's fun?
what?
Oh, but,
I said, what's fun?
let's say that tubing trip where I got sunburned.
Anyway, I mean, gosh, there's a lot I can say.
Say a little.
Yeah, just be ready. Just be ready to, again, have fun, be alert, and have an amazing summer and everything. Make friends, frenemies. You know, just be ready to enjoy your summer. And yeah, you know, just remember, camp is where a kid can be a kid.
All right. And so, with that being said, this
And
is.
I don't care if Chuck E. Cheese sues us.
Is it Chuck E. Cheese? It is Chuck
Yeah.
E. Cheese. We are going to get sued.
Chucky, we can fight, man.
Well, as far as I know,
You scarred my childhood, dude.
Great. Caleb's going to fight a giant. What is he, a rat or a mouse?
Now he's a mouse.
I hope he likes going to like a junkyard because I thought like Chuck E. Cheese shut down.
No, it's still open.
No?
I thought they got foreclosed or something. Oh, that's why that's why there's one here in Baltimore.
Are you high?
Hey.
I'm
What?
Christian. And
Bring,
this channel's rated C for Christian.
You can get high off the blood of Jesus, man.
it's rated G for godly. Seriously, vote in the comments which one it should be.
It's godly.
Bringing it back in line. Well, I think our subscribers should decide. Anyway, so this is the end of our first video. Next week, Dustin, do you want to do a little explaining of what next week will be?
It's an interview John and Caleb about their SSC trips and their SSC experiences.
Okay, you just crossed.
Who invited the Count from Sesame Street?
Oh, come on. We have to have a little fun. Remember, he said when we do these things, it's going to be a little crazy.
There's fun, and then there's what you just were.
What's next? Am I going to come on next week as Elmo or something?
Possibly. You might see me in a special costume next week.
Caleb, you're going to be the Cookie Monster. You
Sue us,
You
man.
will.
Sue us.
Anyway,
Sue us.
yes, Dustin will be doing an interview video next week with me and Caleb. So you're going to want to stick around for that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give us a like, hit the bell, and hit the share button. Send this to as many people as you can. Dustin, I'm going to go ahead and tell them about what we were talking about last week, if that's all right.
That's fine.
So
I don't even remember what we talked about.
So our plan is to hit 100. And so we have decided to make a contest. If we hit 100 subscribers by November 1st, we will be doing some really weird, wacky kind of videos that you guys are not going to want to miss. So hit that subscribe button.
I'm going to eat some ghost peppers.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm just joking.
No, you already
They're
said
going to
it.
be eating it. Nope.
Anyway, so make sure well, actually, I think our subscribers are going to vote on that too. I think that's what we decided. Anyway,
Yeah,
If
to
y'all
get
vote for me, I'm suing you. I'm suing you.
Go for Caleb.
No.
C for
Okay.
Caleb.
Hold on. I just want to say this. Let me tell my my subscribers. Let me tell our subscribers about my experience with Popeyes today.
no, that's another
Yo,
video another time.
That's another video, another time. We don't want to get
It-
sued by
it-
Popeyes
it-
and Chick-fil-A.
My thing is, I just want
what's
to keep.
Popeye?
I want to keep
I
us a little topic.
I just want to complain.
You can complain on the
That,
next show.
there was no ghost pepper seasoning on the wings,
Oh, bummer.
and the
Caleb,
wings were like this big.
if this wasn't a Zoom call, I would hit you with one of my cons. Anyway,
And our scripture verse is Luke chapter 13, verse 29. And they shall come from the east and from the west and from the north and from the south, and they shall sit down in the kingdom of God.
all right, and see you guys later. Have a blessed day and a blessed night.